Hey cousins, it's your girl Angela. How's everybody doing? Long time no see. I hope everyone's doing well. Listen, I'm back today with another one of my Southern Comfort recipes, okay? So today we're going to make us a beef chuck roast. And we're going to cook it in our oven. It's simple, it's easy, it's less requirements for you to do as far as ingredients wise. We are going to add a few vegetables to it, and it's going to be nice and tender when you take it out that oven, okay? So I've already got my stove set to 350 degrees. I like to cook my roast at about 2.5 hours top. That's it, okay? So come on over to Cousin Angela's house, honey, and let's get straight to it, okay? Let Mama just turn the cousins around for one time. Hold on, y'all. Here we go. All right, I'm make sure everybody can see this. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, that's what we doing over that way. Just a little bit more. All right. Bingo. All right, listen. So we got our chuck roast, nice and clean. Dried it off with some paper towels. Listen, I've sliced up me one large onion. All right. We have 2 packs of our McCormick beef stew. And listen, I have 2 fresh garlic cloves right here. I'm going to add to mine. I'm going to slice them very thinly. All right. So then we have 2 large green bell peppers that I've sliced up, but I've saved 2 pieces of the bell peppers. I haven't sliced so I can show you just how thin I slice mine. And this is how thin I like to slice mine up. Okay. So I wanted to show you all how I do it. All right. Then of course we have our ground black pepper. All right. We have our onion powder. We have our garlic powder. We have our McCormick meat tenderizer. And then we have seasonal salt. But let me tell you, if you have someone in your family that has some type of health illness, congested heart failure, high blood pressure, anything relating in those areas, you have to be very careful on any type of salt. I'm just being honest. I don't use regular salt in my home. We use sea salt. And I'm still very careful about how much I use. I don't like to taste food or eat anybody's food or bite into anyone's food and you can taste salt. I don't like that. It makes me get very bad headaches and I start getting very sick. So, and knowing that my husband has congestive heart failure, he can't have it either. So that's why I'm very cautious as to how much I'm using when it comes down to any sea salt or even, seasonal salt. Because seasonal salt has a high sodium level in it. And as a matter of fact, let me check this sodium level. It's 350 milligrams of sodium. So you have to be very careful with that seasonal salt. Okay, so let's get straight to the party at Cousin Angela's house, honey. So listen, with these 2 beef chuck roasts, what you want to do when you buy them is you take them out the package, disregard your package, throw it away in the trash, of course. You're going to get you some cool water running. Just clean it on both sides. Get all that stuff off because they don't clean the meat in the store, honey, when they're packaging or they're preparing the meat in the back. So once you dry it off nice and good with clean paper towels, so you don't see no water running nowhere here. You want to make sure you press the paper towels into the meat. Get all that excess, you know, water and stuff out of them, okay? So then what I like to do is I like to go ahead and season down my meat. And the first thing I do to season down my meat is I'm going to take me a little ground black pepper on both sides. Now listen, if you have a chance or you have time, should I say not a chance, but if you have time where you can take your meat after you season it and you can cover it with some saran wrap and place it back in the refrigerator, say about an hour or two, no more than 2 hours. That way you let those seasonings go on and get up in there, honey, and let those flavors start marinating up in there, okay? That'll be good too. If you don't, hey, it is what it is. Just let it stand aside for, let's put it on the side for a minute, cover it up, and just let it sit there for about 15-20 minutes. That's good too. Honey, as long as we got those seasonings going right up into that meat, that's all that really matters, Cousin Angela. Now listen, I'm a lover for some onion powder. I ain't trying to play with y'all. I ain't trying to hide it. I ain't trying to talk to you about it. I'm just going to come out there and tell you. Got me a little garlic powder, honey. That garlic is what brings out the flavor. The meat, honey, gives it a great flavor. So we're just going to go on in there and put cousin garlic over in there, okay? Put cousin garlic over there. Just don't get too crazy with it. Listen, we'll get that meat tenderizer, honey. This was going to help that meat. Honey, that meat going to be so goddamn nice and tender. But listen, you got to be careful with this meat tenderizer too. Let me say this, because meat tenderizer also has a high sodium level in it. Unless you can find a meat tenderizer that, doesn't have sodium in it. So again, we want to be very careful with this. Just give it a little bit. Just give it a little bit on both sides. That's all you got to do. You don't want to get too crazy with it. So now listen. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, honey, and just, you can use your hand and press it down in there if you want to. Honey, just go on and do that there. That's all right. Like my Uncle Charles say, you're going to do that there. If you want to take your hand and press the meat down in there, that's good too. But Mama don't have any gloves over here with her, so we're just going to do it like this. It's all right. It's all going the same way, right? Right. So listen, then we're going to flip our meat. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You can just press it down. Like I said, you can take your hand and just press it down if you want to. Okay. So, I have a pan, my roasting pan, that what we're going to do later on, I'll show you step by step how I cook my family roast. Okay, and I'll show you what size pan I'm using. Okay, so what we're going to do is repeat the process on this side. I got to step back because cousin Pepper we don't get along too well. So, season it. You got to be sure to season your meat, because you don't want to bland meat, honey, any type of bland food on your table when you're serving your family or anybody else. So please season your meats thoroughly, or any type of food that you're cooking. Please be sure to season. I'm not trying to come to the party or the holiday and I got to ask you for the seasoning. I'm sorry. I'm just very careful what I eat. My husband and my kids can tell you I don't eat at everybody's house. I just don't trust that baby. I'm not trying to say I'm the best cook in the world. That's not what Cousin Angie's saying. All I'm saying is everybody don't wash their hands. Everybody is not clean. We were raised that when you come in the kitchen, I don't care if you come to get something to drink or making you a sandwich. That was the onion powder. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't care. Grandma and Mama made us wash our hands before we touched anything. We couldn't go in there. I don't care if you just wanted a piece of white bread to walk around the house and, back in the day when we were growing up, you would say, I'm just going to eat me a piece of white bread. That's all right. I don't want a sandwich. You had to wash your hands before you go up in that kitchen. And I practice those same things here today, being married in my home. Nobody goes in my kitchen. I don't care if you say you're going in the refrigerator to get an orange. Please wash your hands. Because Cousin Angie can I can help you by washing my hands and getting what you need. But I can't stand a nasty person in the kitchen that don't wash their hands. That's just so daggone nasty. All right. So now that we don't season our meat on both sides, all right, just going to press this seasoning down in here. I'm just going to let this stand aside for about 15-20 minutes, all right, just to get those flavors up in there. Like I said, if you have time where you can season your meat, cover it up with saran wrap, put it back in your refrigerator for no more than 2 hours. And if you can't wait 2 hours, I understand. Give yourself about an hour. That's good too. And then go ahead and remove that meat. But before you remove the meat, now I'm going to put mine aside. So you get Cousin Angie 1 minute, because Cousin Angie going to put hers to the side over here. All right. So now that we got that meat over there to the side, and we're going to let her be happy for the one time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here, and I just want to show you. Remember I showed you what size my bell peppers are, okay? And I did not touch the meat, honey. So listen. So then we're going to take these bell peppers, and we're just going to slice them, just like that. The next time I do a video, I want to show you all how I cut my bell peppers. I think you'll like it when I show it to you, because it's so easy. You don't have to worry about with all that extra headache. All right, so then this is the last one we're going to slice right here. All right. All right, so there we go. All right. Okay, so now that we've got that done, we're going to come over here, and these are 2 fresh garlic cloves, right? So like I just like to take my paring knife and just thinly slice them. I don't know if you can see that. See how thin that is? That's how thin I like to slice mine. So I'm just going to lay it right here on top of my bell peppers. And honey, this going to have the aroma in your house. You got the bell peppers, you got the onion, you got the fresh garlic cloves. Somebody come on over here with the drink, honey. Listen, that aroma in that house going to set it off. The roast is going to taste so goddamn good. Alright, after this, I'm going to wash my hands. I got my 12-inch skillet getting hot. I have about 3 tablespoons of oil, just enough to coat the bottom. So let me show you my garlic cloves. See that? That's the garlic clove. Alright, so let me wash my hands and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, cousins, look. When we get ready to make our gravy, I simply just get a little large bowl or a large measuring cup that has enough. Okay, I think the largest measuring cup I have is like a 2-cup measuring cup. I'll either use that or just a little simple old bowl, honey. And I'm going to show you, this is my bowl I'm going to use first. We're going to use it just to make our gravy. We'll get to that. So I just want to show you this. Now, I want to show you also the pan that I'm going to cook our roast in. All right, this pan is what we're going to cook our roast in. Okay, I've had this pan for about 2 years now. So you can either use it and it's good to, the top is good to cook in the oven up to 400 degrees. But I'm not going to use the top to cover our meat with. I'm simply just going to, you know me, I'm a Reynolds wrap girl, okay? You know me, Cousin Angie, we use the Reynolds wrap non-stick heavy duty. That's what I'm using today. And that's what I always use anyway. All right, but listen, always keep your bag with trash. I just finished getting the flour after I washed my hands. So I want to come over here while my oil is still getting hot. It's just about done. And we don't want to get the oil too hot and burn it, right? So I want to show you, got some self-rising flour. Probably about 3 tablespoons. Listen, I want to show you that just because your meat is seasoned and you set it to the side for 15-20 minutes because you couldn't wait an hour or two in the refrigerator for the meat to marinate with all those seasonings, come on over here, honey. Got our meat seasoned. It's ready to go. The fire is getting hot. So let Cousin Angie show you what we do next, okay? This is what I do. I season my flour. You want your flour to be seasoned just as well as your meat is seasoned. All right? So, honey, get up in it. Get up in it, honey. Come on. We're going to put that ground black pepper up in there, honey. Like I said, you don't want your food to be bland. You got to season. We'll use the same flour to make our gravy, just a little bit of it. Just a little. Okay, we're going to get that onion powder going happy up in there for the one time. We got to get it in there, baby. We got to get it in there, honey. All right. We're going to come on over here with Cousin Garlic. Just a little. We can't go too crazy because garlic is powerful. Add a little bit of that meat tenderizer up and it ain't going to hurt nobody, child. You trying to get the meat nice and tender. Stop playing with yourself. Honey. And go on over there and get that McCormick cousin name season all. Okay? All right, listen. Get that whisk. Listen, that's the other thing. You want to whisk it or get your spoon or a fork. Stir it up. But when you're cooking with, you know, expensive dishes or non-stick dishes that you paid a good price for, do not. Excuse me. Let me wash my hands. All right, thank you, everybody. Sorry about that, honey. That's called Cousin Pepper. She ain't trying to play. All right, Cousin Angie's back. Call that Cousin Pepper. All right, keep a little bag next to you for your trash, so when you finish cooking, you can throw it away. So listen, get you a fork, spoon, or whisk, and stir everything together. Now that we've done that, what I was going to say is, Cousin Angie lost her train of thought, child. But listen, it'll come back to me in a minute. Here's what I was saying. Okay, so when we're cooking with expensive dishes or non-stick dishes that you paid a pretty penny for them, I'm using the Aisha curry. They're not cheap, but listen, I always use plastic utensils on my dishes. Okay, you don't want to go scratching up something, honey. Your husband don't borrow for you because you ain't trying to hit his mouth for the one time. Okay, you ain't trying to go burn nothing or scratch something. The lover or the boyfriend or whoever we want to get down with for the one time on the side, or whoever y'all dealing with, We ain't trying to make them mad either. Listen, Cousin Angie trying to move everything over to the stove, by the stove. So I'm about to move y'all over with me and moving my vegetables. Let Cousin Angie move y'all on over here with her. All right. So let me just move this on down, down, down. Our fire is going. Can y'all see that fire? I don't think. Yep, you can. Let me turn the fire down. Let me turn on my stove fan. So we've got our flour. Let me readjust everything. I want to make sure I got my cousins can see everything Cousin Angie is doing right here in this kitchen. All right, good, 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 good. Okay. Okay, gonna set our whisk aside back here. We're gonna take our meat, stick it in our flour. Just want to coat both sides really well. That's all you want to do. Just coat them a little, on each side. Just like that. All right, all right, and then all right. Now we're gonna shake that excess flour off. You don't need that much, and you're just gonna put that baby on in there and lay her down like that. You see that grease is nice and hot. See that there? Ooh, shoot! Let mama get a. Let me get this right here up, honey. We ain't trying to have no oil fire, honey. Careful putting your meats over in that oil. Get that to the dirty clothes there. Alright, so what we want to do, bring this back over some. And you all excuse me while I get that and get that little bit of grease back there. So I can get this to the laundry. Alright, that's going to the laundry. Thank you. Alright. Smells so good. You can smell the seasonings on that. You want to make sure you give your meat enough time to let those seasonings get up in that meat, honey. And then when you get it in the oven, you see the oven is set to 350. Like I said, I cook mine 2.5 hours. And all I'm doing right now is just getting it nice and brown on the other side. That's all I'm going to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip places with the meat. I'm going to remove the meat. And Cousin Angie is going to put the pan over here so that when our meat is finished browning, we can put our meat over in our cooking pan, okay? That's all we're going to do. We're just going to flip spaces right quick. Alright. And then I have my bowl to make my gravy in right here. So we just put it right here over here by me. So just let that brown for a minute. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Just let her brown. I'm going to put this right here for a minute. Alright, here we go. So now everybody's got a good view. Alright, so we'll check our meat. Oh yeah, we just want to get it nice and brown. Just a little brown over there. See how I did that? And it doesn't take long. If your grease is nice and hot, I have an electric stove, so I have mine on about a number 6 here. I had turned it down to number 4, but I got it cranked back up to number 6. So if your grease is nice and hot, honey, that's all you need. You just want to brown it a little bit on both sides. Get a nice pretty brown to the meat. You want to remove the meat, put it in your cooking pan, and once I brown the other meat, I'll come back and show you all the rest, okay? So, Cousin Angie will come back once this one is done, okay? Okay, cousins, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull our meat out of our hot oil here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the second one. Okay, this is starting. Ooh, honey, that meat tenderizer is something. Hold on a minute. Let me pull it this way. No, that might not be the way to go either. Okay, Cousin Angie going to try that. Whoop, there her go. Okay, so we're just going to turn it. Better yet, let's get it this way. I got 2 big pieces of meat. So now what we want to do is take our last piece of meat and we're going to flour it the same way and brown our meat, okay? So now once I trying to get the flour back in the middle of the pan. Alright. So now once we flour this on, I'm going to brown this on both sides. We're going to remove it from the pan of the hot oil. and then I'll show you all my next step. Be sure to get that excess flour off. There we go. Alright, so once this get brown on both sides, I'll come back and show you the next step. Alright? Okay, cousins, so now that our meat is brown on both sides, I'm going to take this meat, pull it out as well. And that's okay, it's just a little brown, that's all we need. And so now I have 2 big pieces of roast in here, so I'm going to have to try to position this the best way I can, because we want to make sure this roast is cooking. Alright, there we go. Alright. Alright, there we go. It's all cool. Neighborhood. Just got 2 large pieces of meat. So now, let me show you what Cousin Angie do. Alright, so we have our 2 packs of McCormick beef stew seasoning, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my fire. Better yet, I'm going to turn it down to low. And remember I told you I had my bowl over here, right? So let me move you all over here next to me. Let's do that. That way you can see me. Alright, so here we go. So here's how I'm going to do this game here. I'm going to take 2, let me take off my glasses. I'm going to take 2 packs of the McCormick seasoning off. I'm going to take this, empty it over in my bowl, okay? And we'll start with the first pack. Remember I told you, honey, get all your money out, honey. I ain't got time for you to be throwing your money away, honey. We need all the money we got to get out of there. Alright, put that aside for the trash. I'm going in for pack number 2. You normally want to get you about 3.5 cups of cold water. I don't have any beef broth, honey. That's alright. Mom and auntie, mom and grandma didn't always have beef broth. You be fine. So then I'm going to get me a large clean spoon out my drawer. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. While that water's getting cold, we're going to take this spoon and we're going to get us some of that old flour that we seasoned. Remember I told you about that seasoned flour? Well, we're going to get that seasoned flour on over in here. And what that flour is going to do is help thicken that gravy. That's all it's going to do. I'm going to take that flour and put it in here. I don't know how many tablespoons I got. Probably about 5 or 6. I don't know. I just like my gravy nice and thick. I don't like a watery gravy. And when your gravy gets done, your meat get done, if you feel like it's still too thin, guess what? Make you a little roux, honey. Get you some cold water. Get you some flour. Get you what do you want to call it? Get you some flour, some cold water. And get you a fork, honey, and whisk it up and get them lumps out of there, honey. That's what you do. Cousin Angie don't try to tell you the secret. Now listen, I got my flour, my McCormick. I'm going to go ahead and mix all that up together with my whisk. Okay? I'm going to go ahead before I add my water and whisk it all together. And look, I'm going to show you what it looks like. That's what you want to do. Let me move my camera down so you all can see it. See? I just mixed it up. So now listen, let me get some cold water going over in here. And Cousin Angie going to show you what she's doing. I got the cold water. And you just want to whisk. Be sure to get all them seasonings because I can't afford to buy my seasonings and throw them away, honey. I ain't got time for that. I done told y'all to get all your money, honey. There we go. Remember the flour had those seasonings over in it, but you still need to season it up some more, honey. Alright, so I'm going to go back in with a little black pepper. We're not going to do too much. Just a little bit. You ain't trying to burn everybody's mouth and the grandmama around the corner either. Alright. We're going to do a little bit of onion powder. We got to season, honey. We got to season. I come over here with y'all to be some bland food. Alright. I'm going to do a little onion powder. I'm not going to do any garlic powder in here. I'm just going to do some meat tenderizer. And a little, and a little season oil. That should be enough. We want to whisk. You want to whisk. I'm going to turn this oil off because I don't need that oil. But what I will do is take the remaining of that flour And use all that flour. Because we're going to have us a nice thick gravy. Alright. Take that over for the trash. We're going to whisk, fork, whatever you're using. Whatever you do, you want to make sure you get all that together. All around the sides. Now I can show you the next time how to make the gravy using the oil and the sauce pack. I can show you all that. I know a lot of people be using like browning agents they buy from the store. I don't do that. Gravy is so easy to be made even if you don't want to do it this shortcut, okay? Gravy is so easy to be made. Make sure when you're whisking or using a fork, you want to get all out of there, all out of the corners, alright? So now that I got that done, let Cousin Angie show y'all what she's doing next. Alright, so here's our meat. Can you see that very well? Cool. I just want to make sure we got position to see everything. So now, like I said, I got the stove off. I'm not going to touch my oil. I probably use just like a little bit of oil to go on the meat, but I don't need all that. Alright, just a little bit. Coat the meat. Get it all that good flavor. That's fine. Get all of it. Get up in it. Alright. So get that ready to be washed. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So next, I'm going to take and those are my fresh garlic cloves. Remember I sliced those? So what I want to do is just take those garlic cloves, honey, and put it all up on my meat. And get that season up in there. That's what you want to do, honey. So then I'm going to take some bell peppers. This is going to be so good. And honey, the flavor's all up in there. Let me get some more garlic. There we go. Yes, Lord. This is it. Alright, so listen, we're going to switch places. We're going to come back in with some onion, honey. What y'all talking about here? I ain't even trying to come play with y'all. Just kind of get you some onion, honey. Get happy with it. I'm just trying to get happy. I ain't trying to upset nobody. I'm just trying to eat. That's what Cousin Angie like to do. She just like to eat. I like to sit around the table, eat, love, laugh, play some family board games, and have a good old time. That's what we come to do, honey. We ain't come for all that other extra. And this is going to help give that gravy some good flavor too. I'm bringing it to you just like my mother and my grandma did it. I can't tell you if anybody else did it because they really didn't know how to do it. And I ain't trying to make fun of nobody. I'm just being straight to the point. Straight to the point with you. Ain't nobody going to bring it like my mama and my grandma. My Aunt Mary did it right, but I can't speak about the rest. Oh, child. This is going to be some good stuff right here. Alright, got a garlic clove over there, child. Yes, Lord. Got me an extra garlic clove. I'm going to put her right here. And wham, we done. Got the rest of our onions, honey. This is how Cousin Angie, honey. And it's all going to cook up in here. Your house going to be smelling so good. And don't let the church people come over after church services. They're going to be like, Sister Lola, your house smells so good. What you in there on cook? Honey, you been on cook the dinner before the pastor and the first lady and everybody and their grandma come over. So listen, we're going to pour that gravy and mix it right on over in there just like that. Look at that. And be sure to get everything out the corners just like I told you. So simple, so easy, so quick. Remember your stove at 350 degrees. We're going to cook this 2.5 hours, 3 hours top. And that meat come out that oven, honey. I ain't even trying to talk to you. When the meat come out the oven, honey, when we fix them plates, I ain't got time to be talking to you. Cousin Angie, I just had to give me a little bit more water so I can get the extra out of there, honey. Because, you know, I can't throw my money away if it's a seasoning that I just mixed up in here with the flour that I brought, baby. I'm going to have to go back in and get all them cousins out the way. You understand what I'm saying? Alright. I'm going to have to get all up in the corner and get my money, honey. Y'all better stop wasting y'all money. Listen, I don't get all cousin them at the corner. All right. All right. There we is right there. Got all our cousins at the corner. We ain't trying to play with you for one time. All right, so this is going to cook for about 2.5 hours. In the meantime, while your food is cooking, you can be preparing your vegetables that you're going to cook with your meal to go along with this. This is good to be served with vegetables or mashed potatoes or roasted potatoes on the side or rice. Just whatever you want to serve with it. Some good old homemade cornbread. Be sure to go on my YouTube page and check out my Southern homemade cornbread. Alright. Alright. We ready, honey. We are ready to go. One more thing. Alright. So now that we got that going, Cousin Angie will be back in 2.5, 3 hours. Alright. See you soon. Alright, cousins. So I am back. Our roasts are done. So what I did was when the roast was done, I had 2 roasts in the baking pan. So I removed one and put it in a smaller dish just to make it more presentable to you guys. So I got the other one back over there on the stove. So you come on over to Cousin Angie's house, honey. Let me put my little clicker up for my pictures. Alright, so listen, honey, this roast is done. It's nice and tender. It's smelling good, honey. I taste the gravy, child. It was just damn right. Okay, it tastes so damn good. You can slap everybody you probably was mad with and go on and make your plate and get on about your business, because it's your business anyway. You ain't have to hear from me. I'm not the one to gossip. Listen, come on over here, honey. Y'all come on over here and have some roast, and we're going to serve this with some, sweet peas and some rice. So come on over to Cousin Angie Feed the Children, honey. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share for those of you who are new to my channel. And for all new subscribers, thank you. And thank you, everyone, for all your support at Angela's Southern Comfort Dishes and Seasonings, okay? I'm sorry, that's my oven. I got to remove this food. So, listen, honey. Come on over. Let me feed y'all, honey. All right. There her go. That's her right there. That's little cousin. That's Cousin Rose, honey. Let me just move this right quick right here, right now. This is hot. Oh, child, I ain't trying to get burned. Give me a minute. Okay, I ain't trying to get burned, honey. Let Cousin Angie bring the children over here. Cousin Rose, honey, there she go right there. Get up in it. Get up in it, honey. This roast is so nice and tender, honey. Bell peppers and onion, honey, and fresh garlic cloves, child. What we working with, honey. Okay, listen. So listen, Cousin Angie got her little rice. Got her little sweet peas, honey. So you know me. I'm a gravy lady, all right? Got a piece of onion right there. I'm a gravy lady. So, honey, we going to get up in this roast right here. Because I ain't trying to play with y'all for right now. All right? I'm in love with the gravy. Look at that. Oh, my God. Get up in it. Now, my husband and my kids, they're not gravy lovers. But me, honey, I'm gravy lover all the way around the clock. Look at it, honey. Get up in it. And then I'm going to put a little bit on my meat, honey. Just like that. Just like that. That's my Uncle Charles say. Let Cousin Angie, honey, come on over here and show y'all how we do it. It's a Southern thing. It's a Georgia thing, baby. Look at there. Look at there. Child, what we working with. Y'all want some? Look at that roast. Ooh-wee. Honey, get up in it. Y'all want some? I ain't even trying to come play with you. Listen, let me move this right here for the one time, honey. Lord, we thank you for every blessing that you've blessed upon us, Lord. Let this food nourish our body. In your Son, Jesus' name, we pray, amen. Listen, honey. Be sure, let me let y'all get another plate. Listen. Be sure to please share my page. Please share. And for those of you who are new, like I said, welcome. like, leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this video. I already know you're gonna love it, honey. You can't go wrong. And you know what? I cooked this for exactly 2 hours and 45 minutes. This goddamn roast so tender. It's so tender. Imagine if it was a beef roast with the bone, honey. The bone would be floating in the water, in the gravy. I didn't mean to say water. Look, you know what my grandmother and my mother would do when they cook a roast? The next day, they would take that roast and make a good old country hash. Chop. Look, I don't broke off the napkin, got meat over here on my face. A little gravy. Listen, honey, y'all going about y'all business. I ain't come to play with you. I came to eat. Now, if y'all want to come eat, y'all come on over. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a message below. You can't go wrong with this. This cousin Angie, baby. I ain't come to play. I came to give you the recipe for the one time. Listen, I love each and every one of you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Like, share, subscribe. Please share my videos. Share my channel. Thank you to everyone. More new recipes are coming up very, very soon. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, cousins.